Hey, who likes taxes? Really, when most people think about taxes, I think this is what they want to do. Yeah, my dad always said death and taxes, or I want to bang my head on a wall, I hate taxes, or I want to pull out my hair. Okay, so this video is for the employers, the nanny employers out there. It is crucial that you guys pay taxes. I know everyone wants to do what's right. Uh, really, I know a lot of people don't pay their nanny taxes, but why is it important? Before you just turn this video off and say, I'm not going to worry about that, there are a lot more risks probably than one thinks. So, parent, let's say you're employing a nanny and a few years later she goes to collect unemployment tax. So let's say you're employing a nanny and she gets laid off and she goes to collect unemployment tax, and the IRS can't find your name as a former employer. I'd say that would be a big problem. They'll come after you. Let's say the nanny goes to collect disability or Social Security down the road and you're not listed as a former employer, although she has you listed. That's going to be an issue. And what does that mean for you? You have to pay back taxes, you have to pay penalties, you have to pay all sorts of charges, including the nanny's back taxes. And in addition, that's a federal offense. I'd say that's a pretty huge deal and not something that you want to be committing. Hey, buddy. So to keep things simple, you have to determine if you have a household employee. And what that means is someone who you can control, and you can control the work that they do in your home as well. If you are hiring a contractor, let's say you have child care, but you take your child to another person's home, that would not be an employee. That would be an independent contractor or a self-employed person. If you're working with an agency and the agency controls how the person works and when they work, then that would not be an employee of your household. That would be working with the agency. So you would not be required to pay those nanny taxes. But a nanny who comes to your home and works in your home, she is not self-employed. She is not an independent contractor. If you have a person in your home who is younger than 18 nannying for your children, or they're a full-time student, you don't have to pay nanny taxes for them. If you have a family member taking care of your child, you don't have to pay taxes for them. If you have a son of yours who's taking care of your younger daughter, obviously you don't have to pay nanny taxes for them. For 2011, if you paid your nanny more than $1,700 for the entire year, then you have to pay the nanny tax. If it was less than that, no need to worry about it. For 2012, I think it's going to be around $1,800 for the year. And it's also really important to note that you may still have to pay state employment taxes if your payroll exceeds $1,000 quarterly. Okay, so now you know the importance of nanny taxes and you know that you want to pay the nanny tax. But what are the next steps that you actually have to take in order to file these taxes? Number one, you have to get an EIN, which is an employer identification number, and that's actually pretty easy. I've gotten one of those before for some of my previous work. And all you have to do is fill out an SS4 form, which is pretty simple to do. Also, you have to give the nanny her W-2 to fill out, and then you have to get the W-3, fill that out, and submit that to the government as well. Something else that you may want to be aware of is the W-4 form, which some nannies may not want, but some may want, and it's just important for you to discuss that with the nanny directly to see what you two both want to do together. I prefer the W-4 form because it helps collect the tax each paycheck, and I don't have to wait till the end of the tax season to have to pay a huge chunk all at once. That can kind of come as a surprise sometimes. And then it's important to be aware of the W-5 form. A W-5 form is an earned income credit, and it basically lets the nannies pay less taxes if they qualify for certain things. So number one, they have to make under a certain amount each year. They have to have a qualifying child, which is listed on the IRS website what that means. And then also they have to have a Social Security number, so they basically have to be legal. And I don't think a lot of nannies know about the W-5 form, and a lot of nannies probably make more than the amount listed here for that, so that may not be necessary for them, but it's just important to know about all these things when you're talking about taxes with your nanny. So, that was a lot of work. What are some of the benefits that parents get for paying the nanny tax? How about the peace deep down inside knowing that you're not committing perjury? That's pretty good. Overall, it's just such a good feeling to be able to know that you're really helping out your nanny if she ever needs to collect unemployment, if she ever has to go on disability, if she ever ends up getting Social Security, if there's any left of it, by the time she needs it. Also, you don't have to worry about workers' comp, any workers' comp claims, and there's a child care tax credit. So look it up online and find out how you can get that too. Okay, so all the families out there who don't think it's important to pay the nanny tax or who are trying to avoid it and hide it, I know deep down inside there's a pit at the bottom of your stomach that's saying, pay, 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 but you really don't want to. Well, listen to that voice.